Today we're going to answer one question that we have about investment, and why don't we kickstart?
Wealth management and
Monthly installment at 1.88%.
how to select the right property to buy.
1 km. It's 1 km.
Yeah, let me check.
Alright, so the question says, I've just sold off my HDB property, and me and my hubby, we've just checked with our bankers based on our current down payment ability plus our loan itself. So we can afford up to $2.5 to $2.8 million in terms of the property overall price. We're torn between getting a landed property versus getting two separate properties, likely one as a 99-year landed property at about 1.6 million, and then having the balance funds to invest in probably a smaller condominium. This question comes from an audience who have just sold off their HDB property. They actually need space because they have a large family, so they need more bedrooms, probably at least a 4 to 5 bedroom kind of space, which is a key reason why they're thinking of a landed property itself. So this is interesting because we're going to talk about like 3 different kinds of products. So the very first one is a landed property that is like a freehold, $2.5 to $2.8 million, and then we're talking about a 99-year landed property, probably in the range of about $1.5 to $1.6 million, and then of course the third category will be a condominium that they're planning to invest. So they're torn because they're not sure whether to lump all their down payment and their loan eligibility into one basket, or should they then probably buy 2 properties, one under each name. The first one being a 99-year landed property with 4 to 5 bedrooms at about $1.5, $1.6 million, and then the third one being probably like a $1 million kind of new development or from the resale market to buy and rent out. Alright, so if you were them, what would you do then? Alright, so probably you can leave comments down below and share with us like what would you do if you were this couple. Usually based on our advice, based on this particular scenario, they are a huge family, they need space, they definitely want a landed, alright? They definitely need the room size. Based on what they say, they have kids, they have helpers, parents are staying with them, which is the key reason why they need 4 to 5 bedrooms. So yes, I think landed is a good choice. Why is it a good choice? Is because if you were to buy a freehold landed property, you're buying the freehold land, and of course you're buying the building itself. So your $2.5 to $2.8 million will be buying these 2 particular things. I think in terms of Singapore context, landed property, land which is freehold, is definitely precious. It will increasingly get less and less because as developers probably buy up a couple of landed properties, and maybe if they were to redevelop it into strata houses, or if they were to redevelop that into a boutique kind of small development itself, then of course we will be seeing less and less landed property on the main island of Singapore itself. So naturally, if you were to look back at history in terms of price, trend and growth, freehold landed properties are a very, very stable asset, and it is of course one of the prestige point of every Singaporean because only Singaporeans can own that. And in terms of asset class, a lot of people are actually looking forward to owning their own land because you also have your own carport space, there's no maintenance fee, you own your own plot, and of course there's also chance for future redevelopment. You can tear it down, rebuild it, and you can put it in a pool, you can do A&A. So there's a lot of different kinds of flexibility, and of course owning like a freehold land is a form of prestige in the eyes of many Singaporeans. So coming back to this 2 different kind of asset class, a 99-year landed property definitely will have its own audience. So if I were to talk about this range that our audience has mentioned, which is about 1.5 to 1.6 million, there are 99-year clusters kind of landed properties in various parts of Singapore. But let's take for example, if we talk about this kind of price range, typically probably they are left with maybe about 70 over years in terms of the lease. 99-year in nature, naturally the price will be lower than freehold because of the tenure itself, but it is a great space in terms of families who want the space but wants to keep their budget range for their home at this quantum, which is like 1.5 to 1.6 or 1.7 million kind of price quantum, and they do not want to pay this for a condominium, and they rather pay that for a 99-year landed. So there are this particular group of buyers that are looking at 99 years landed properties, probably because after hunting around, they felt that probably the price is quite similar, then might as well I go for a 99 landed with more built-in area with my own land, there's no maintenance fee, and they probably want to hold it for mid to long term, or they probably just want to hold it and stay there and use other funds for other kind of investments and stuff like that. So it really depends on the particular needs of the family. And if they were to go for this second alternative, technically speaking, they are trying to own 2 properties and then let the rental pay for the second property. Although nowadays in Singapore, the yield is probably between 2 to 3% odd. In terms of this second option, what the family is thinking of is, of course, owning a lower cost landed property with enough space for the family and having that additional investment asset running based on a rental kind of strategy. I think this strategy is also common because quite a couple of families also do that as well. So it really depends on your comfort level, because some people, they definitely want to have like a freehold landed, and then some people will think that, hey, I'm okay to stay in 99-year landed and I'm going to stay there for very long, and I will just let my investment property do the job. If it appreciates, I might sell it and then reinvest again. I would rather have 2 properties rather than have 1. Some people might also think that, hey, I probably don't want to manage a rental property. I might just invest in a good one, a freehold land, and then let the price grow gradually while I stay there, so that I don't have to manage an additional set of property in the sense for rental and things like that. So I think it really depends on your own personal preference. Both have its pros and cons. So nevertheless, sometimes it's very difficult to give a direct answer to every different kind of investment situation, because every family has its own preferences. What we can do is, of course, to articulate out the pros and cons in our own opinion, and then we hope that this episode will help you in a sense, and see you soon.
Alright, so for more information on investing in new developments, do head out to our website at PropertyLimBrothers.com, and as well as our YouTube channel under Investor Series, and we will see you soon.